Please welcome Mr. Herman Mashaba.
Thank you, Alec, and congratulations for the 10 years. And good morning, fellow South Africans. I think I just want to make it clear from the beginning so that South Africans cannot say that I betrayed them one day. Right now, South Africa has entered an era of coalitions. This is the outcome of a political dispensation, and the voters have spoken, and they'll keep speaking about this. I cannot really see anyone getting an outright majority come 2024, and I think it is my great wish that it happens for the next 100 years, because my country and continent has proven, and in actually some parts of the world have proven, that one-party system cannot sometimes be good for society. But I just obviously want to really make it really very clear that, please, in the event we get into a coalition and the party I lead expect me to go into the ANC, I'm saying to South Africa, please asking me to step aside. This political party I founded, it's not my party. I didn't start it for myself. I started it because I wanted to democratically remove the ANC from power. Why I would not go into a coalition with the ANC? In 3 weeks' time, I'm going to be turning 64, so I'm not a young man. I lived more than half of my life under an evil system of apartheid. So, big number of people who are running ANC today, majority of you don't know them as much as I do. You did not really fund them the way we did, us as black business at the time. The pre-1994, you guys were not there for them. We were there. And here we are 30 years down the line, born and raised in abject poverty, decided at the age of 22 that PW Botha is not going to control my life. I said to PW Botha, I said, Mr. Botha, you can control the 30 million plus black people. At the time, South Africa had roughly 30 million blacks. I said, you can control them, but not this one called Herman Mashaba. I'm going to use my God-given talent to free myself. And that's how I declared myself to be a capitalist. I'm a full-blown capitalist. It's in my blood. You know, when you're born in poverty, chances of going into crime are very high. So I've managed, instead of going into crime, used commerce to free myself. Now you look at me now at my age and my financial position. Why should I join a criminal enterprise? Honestly, I think it's unfair for anyone to expect me to join a criminal enterprise when I avoided to be in a criminal underworld when I was young. Because if you look at ANC, if anyone believes that they can change the ANC and they're happy to work with them, please leave Herman Mashaba out. There's just no way that I would want to be associated with the ANC. The only time you'll see me with the ANC, that's when I have no option. That's the reason why I declined the invitation today, called by Paul Bashati, the Deputy President. But because I'm a Democrat and I believe in engagement, I sent 4 of my team members to go and represent us, because I don't really believe that his intention of a coalition are genuine. I've dealt with Paul, even when I was the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. Every time I have a meeting with him, I'll ask them to give me the agenda ahead of time. And even when they put it down, I will ensure that we record the meeting, and I'll say to Paul, is this the agenda? Are you sure is this the agenda? Because I'm used to you guys having one agenda on the table, but in the meantime, you've got another agenda. So for that reason, fellow South Africans, in the event that we get into an environment where ActionSA has got to be part of that multi-party government, I'm happy for my party and I give them my blessing. But then Herman Mashaba must be left out of it. I'd rather go home and go and drink myself to death and be a broken man. Because that's what's going to really happen to me. Because no one is going to be able to really change the ANC. The level of corruption within that organization is so deep that no one can ever change it. And I think political parties talking about going into coalition with the ANC breaks my heart. I left my successful business career to unseat the ANC. And when in 2019 discovered my party and the ANC had a plan to remove me as a mayor because I was fighting corruption, I was providing services to poor communities, it broke my heart. And for some reason, because perhaps someone in my family tree, made a terrible mistake to God, and God decided I'm the one to pay. Because doing this job is brutal. This is a brutal job. But at the same time, it's a necessary job. I'm using my privileged position to do my little best to ensure that I can save my country. That's all I'm doing. I don't get paid for this. I don't get paid for this. It's costing me a fortune. I can imagine to start this at the time when the captains of industry believed in Mr. Palapala. And I raised my reservations, and I became very unpopular with captains of industry as to why I was against Mr. Palapala. And Mr. Palapala has demonstrated to us that Jacob Zuma was a Sunday school picnic. And for me, listening to Rob now, that captains of industry wants to work with the ANC to repair this country, I don't know where they live. They must be delusional. Because what they are going to define, it's a level of corruption and deep-rooted cadre deployment. I don't know how they're going to solve that. Only a miracle might happen. I wish them all of the best. As long as I'm saying is we left out of it. I ran an organization which I was forced by South Africans to start when I announced my resignation as a mayor of the city of Johannesburg 2 years ahead of time. Because I wasn't born yesterday, I have natural instinct to know certain things. And it came to my attention, my party and the ANC were having secret meetings facilitated by Frans Grunier and the IRR to remove me from power. Because my sin, calling me an EFF mayor, you can imagine Herman Mashaba and the EFF, we come from, the EFF is on the extreme of the ANC. But at the end of the day, when you run a municipality and you run government, you don't provide services to only those who voted for you. I hate to live side by side with poverty. I know what poverty means. And I got involved in government, into politics, so that we can address this issue of poverty. Now, for me to really be accused of being an EFF mayor because I'm providing toilets to people, and then you go and negotiate with the ANC secretly to have a motion of no confidence against me. And obviously for the ANC, because at the time I was pursuing 35 billion rands of fraud and corruption of senior ANC people who are today not in parliament, in cabinet of Mr. Palapala. So obviously that, so when I then said, if that's the case, I'm out of here. And civil society said to me, Herman, start your own political party. I said, my goodness, what have I done? how do I start a political party? But fortunately enough, my grandfather always taught me, as a human being, use this little brain to navigate the challenges. Here we are. We've got a political party called ActionSA. Please, I challenge any one of you to go into your Google. Not a single analyst or professor gave us a chance. They said in the city of Johannesburg, if we get 3, councillors will be lucky. Free and fair elections happened. As I'm talking to you right now, ActionSA has got 44 councillors in the city of Johannesburg. 19 in Tshwane, where the Soweto will never get anything. 15 in Kuruleni. We've had 8 or so by-elections. The last one we had 3 weeks ago, Ward 7 in the city of Johannesburg. It was an ANC ward. We moved us as ActionSA, dropped the ANC support from 37% to current 24%. And people tell me ANC is growing way. Yes, in the minds of professionals or using their computers and analysts. But in real terms, I can show you in all the by-elections we contested, we knock ANC 15, 20, 30% down all the time. We're the only political party in this country capable of unseating the ANC. And we are unapologetic about this. And you ask yourself, why is ActionSA managing to do this? Because I've been taught also by my grandfather and as a human being not to stand on a fence on any subject. That's why some people call me stubborn or dictator. And I'm happy to wear those shoes. I've always made it clear to South Africans that I believe in an unracial society. This whole BE nonsense and employment equity will, as long as I'm alive, there's just no way that I'm going to allow God-given creations to be separated by another man. I will not accept it. I will not want to live in a society like that. I believe in a free market economy. I believe the only way this country can survive is to allow business to do business and the government create an enabling environment for them. That is why I'm being really very clear listening to BRICS and Russia. Russia is a case to South Africa. We don't need BRICS. ActionSA comes into power. I'm very clear. South Africa will not be part of BRICS. Not that I will not do business with other countries, but Russia is a liability. They trained this ANC people to destroy. The 30 years they were in exile, they were teaching them to destroy and steal. That's why they continue to do. So I believe in free market economy. But I believe in social justice. I know what poverty is. I know how to sleep or go to school without shoes. So I believe in social justice. And I believe the only way that we can make it as a country is to have the rule of law. That's why yesterday I mobilized thousands of South Africans. I'm sure you saw it on national televisions. Mobilized South Africans. We went to the Minister of Police to go and give him a memorandum from just under 500 to police stations, completely dysfunctional. But we have a Minister of Police running from one crisis to the other. Yesterday he was here in Cape Town. That's why the memorandum was received by someone else. I said, perhaps today must be Nelspruit or something, spending money. I don't know when is he ever in office to provide political direction to the police and put in professional people. We need to bring the Scorpions as a matter of agency with less political intervention so that we can really deal with the rule of law in our country. There's just no way we're going to make it in this country if we are not prepared to educate our people. Are you aware I'm a product of Bantu education? The kind of education that I received And the kind of education that a child in Gugule today gets is worse than what HF used to give us. Very sad. 80% of public schools are not dysfunctional because, and it's not a mistake. It's a plan by the ANC government to keep black people poor. That's why I became unpopular with the ANC for the last 20 years. That I've always said ANC wants to keep black people poor, uneducated, so that they can control them. That's why they hated clever blacks. And I've always made it really very clear. I like clever people. I'm in politics so that I can produce clever people, black and white. So all people must be clever, because that's the only way we can grow our economy and grow prosperity to our country. So we now ready as ActionSA. We contested 6 municipalities in 2021. Out of 6 municipalities, ActionSA, people think we're a small party. No, we're a new party. In 29th of August will be 3 years, but we one of the biggest party. Are you aware we are the 6th biggest political party in the country? Out of 6 municipalities, out of 278. Today, as I speak to you, the whole of last year focused on putting provincial chairperson. I've got brilliant now provincial chairpersons. We are ready to contest elections, and there's no way ANC is going to steal elections from us. And no ways ANC is going to get 40%. If they get to the mid-30s, they must thank their gods, because they don't even believe in God. So we're working very hard around the clock. I pay a very serious price. I thought as a young man during apartheid, doing 10,000 kilometers a month, my car had to be serviced every month. I thought I was a hard worker. This work I'm doing now, which I don't pay, which costs me money, it's a very brutal job. But I really regard myself to be the most fortunate human being on earth. My grandfather taught me to always really believe in myself, and I strongly so believe in myself that we are going to unseat ANC come 2024. But it's not going to happen by chance. It's going to happen out of hard work, mobilizing civil society. There's 25 million plus South Africans who've chickened out of politics. We're doing everything possible to register them with the IEC to make sure that we can create history like we did in 2021. So I'm excited. I'm nervous, because getting to 2024, it's not going to be an easy journey. Coming here yesterday reminded me of the days of apartheid. Getting out of the airport to coming here, you don't know what I went through. The days when I started my business, ducking and diving from security forces with roadblocks every townships, because I used to operate mainly in the townships, because that's where my market was. You get into a township, if by the time you come out, there's a roadblock or there's a boycott and so forth. It happened last night, coming here. At the airport, as I'm getting my car, I'm told I must be careful. And I can tell you, this took me back to the mid-80s. And this is something that can really happen between now and 2024. But I think that should not really deter us or discourage us from working hard to ensure that we remove this evil of government. Otherwise, South Africa is going to become another failed state. And if it does, then all of us must take the responsibility. For those of you who believe that you are not political animals, you are making a big mistake. You're failing your children. You're failing your grandchildren. Because I can tell you, if you want politics to stay away from you, have interest in politics. If not, I can tell you, politics is going to come into your bedroom, whether you like it or not. So for us as ActionSA, we are prepared to really work hard for our country. I'm sure with the little money I've got, I can afford to go and live anywhere else in the world, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to use my privileged position, God-given privilege by this country, to ensure that future generations, my grandchildren, can live in a country and a world where they are not judged on the basis of the color of the skin, they are judged on their character. And that's what I'm working towards. Thank you very much.